Hi, everyone. I thought I'd do something different this week and share a little bit about my chapter 11, about a friend of mine who had the deepest faith of anyone I've ever met. Chapter 11 is the chapter on faith. Um, how can we know how to have faith without learning from others who embody it? And the story that I tell is about a friend that I had who happened to be a meteorologist here in Denver for a decade. And she fought cancer on a public stage. And in fact, reported the news sometimes with her bald head. Um, Pam lives on in me because of her faith. And so just a little bit about her story. You can read it about it in the book a little further if you get the book. But I met Pam. Our kids went to school together in elementary school. And I wanted to meet her. And I didn't realize that our kids were friends in school. But I remember sitting out in the hot tub one night and praying that I could meet Pam Daale because I connected with her through her suffering, because of suffering. And this was 20 years ago. So anyway, one day when I was picking Jenny up from school, I saw Pam and I saw her circling in her wheelchair to pick up her daughter. And we arrived at the same location, picking up our daughters. And then our daughter said goodbye. And so I'm like, okay, God, what's going on here? And so I asked Pam, I said, I'd love to get together sometime. And at this point, I was beginning to heal from my first injury 20 years ago. So I was walking and was not in a wheelchair at that moment, but was still in the wheelchair sometimes. So I had a ramp at my house, which most people don't have ramps, but mine did. So Pam and I began to go back and forth to each other's homes. I could get into her home because she had a ramp. She could come to mine. And we developed this friendship while our girls were having play dates together, and we spent time together. And I would bring my Bible over. I'm completely embarrassed to say this, but I would try to teach and encourage Pam. And Pam was so humble. She accepted the teaching. The encouragement is fine. But one day I just poured out my heart to her, feeling bad for her circumstances because here she has two young kids. She's fighting cancer. And she had sunken eyes. Her blue eyes were beautiful. She had a bald head from the radiation. She's in a wheelchair because she's a paraplegic. And so I'm telling her, trying to encourage her from the Bible. And she looked at me and she said, I don't really think I have it that bad. And it changed my life. That statement, that sentence changed my life because here I am back in a wheelchair most of the time. And Pam has passed on. But she's also passed on her wisdom and her faith to me. I still think about her all the time and the great faith that she had. She knew that she was okay because she was with God on earth and then in heaven. She knew everything was okay, and she never believed she was in a bad place. She just went with God. And she wrote a book. I can't remember the name. I'll have to look for it. I'll put it in the notes and the rest of the newsletter. Sorry. But she wrote a book, and she refused to report the weather mostly cloudy. She always reported mostly sunny with a few clouds. And that's how Pam was. She was mostly sunny. And this is a story I share in my 11th chapter called The Gift of Faith. I hope you enjoy.